A new investigative report from Oklahoma Watch in partnership with the Oklahoman is bringing attention to a deadly crash in the Panhandle from 2023. This story was published yesterday and it cites records and timelines that reporters say raises questions about the investigation into the crash. So joining us now to talk about their findings is one of the journalists who worked on this story, JC Hallman. JC, we want to welcome you in and thank you for being here with us today. Now, I know you worked with this in partnership with the Oklahoman. For anyone who hasn't read this article, walk us through your findings.
Yeah, sure. First, I want to say thanks to my co-reporter, Maria Gwinnett, from the Oklahoman. Couldn't have done this story or many others without her, so thanks a lot to her. This story started, 3 years ago is when this multiple fatality accident involving a law enforcement vehicle happened. Sometime after that, we started doing some reporting on stuff happening out in the Panhandle when we got this tip that this crash had happened, that there had not been a lot of coverage, and that it had been covered up really quick, and that locals sort of knew about this. So we started looking into it, and the situation was that a family was driving a vehicle just east of Guyman, and they ran a stop sign, and a law enforcement vehicle that was speeding as it was coming back toward Guyman just slammed into them. So it was a case where, both sides were breaking a law, but what was strange was that the speed with which it was all investigated and covered up and made to go away. And then as we started looking into it, it was just very, very difficult to get documents related to it, to find out how fast this law enforcement vehicle was going, and otherwise just to sort of shed light on it. You wouldn't have thought it would be that tough, but it was really difficult, and it raised lots of important questions.
Yeah, so you got this tip, you looked into it, you investigated the report. Now, in the article, questions are raised on, how the investigation was handled. You talked about that a little bit. Can you give us some insight into what specific evidence you came across that led you to this conclusion?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it was more of an absence of evidence, right? So one of the things that stuck out very early on was that there were no photographs taken, right? And at first we were told there was no dash cam, no body cam footage from any of the troopers that responded or from the vehicle involved in the crash, but then it turned out that there was. There were just a number of things. The official collision report had a watermark stamped across the top of it. It said investigation incomplete. So the investigation was never even completed internally. But perhaps the most shocking thing was the discovery in some of the reports that a young girl, 8-year-old girl named Petronila, was thrown from the vehicle in the crash. And she came to rest about 40 feet away from the car in which she'd been traveling. And as police were investigating and getting the cars out of there, even before the investigator would be assigned to investigate, even before he arrived, the cars were removed, taken away. That was all happening so fast. They didn't find this girl. And so her body stayed out there for 6 hours before she was found.
What was the response from investigators as to why she wasn't found?
They really just haven't responded. I mean, they have acknowledged that they missed her in their initial canvass of the area, which is required. It's not that far away though, and it's not like it was hidden somehow, there was still some light in the day when troopers arrived on scene. So there really wasn't a good explanation for why. And they more or less shut down. That the troopers involved didn't speak with us. We only got statements from the local DA. So there was kind of a code of silence that sort of took over once we started asking questions. We had to sue to get some of the documents involved.
I want to get into that a little bit more. I mean, you mentioned you had to sue. It took a long time to get a lot of the documents that you were requesting. To give our viewers some insight into what that process looks like for journalists who are trying to get these answers and why it takes so long and to get all the documents that you needed for this report.
Yeah, I mean, it gets really wonky, but there are some documents that they're just required to give you if you ask, and then there's some documents where they say they may give them to you. They can, but they won't. And you would think that if it says that they may, meaning that they can, that sometimes they would and sometimes they wouldn't, they would evaluate it. And what we were told by somebody from DPS was that when it's may, when they can, they just have a policy. We won't. They just won't give it, and so after we got that answer, we went directly to somebody in the Attorney General's office and we asked for a special response to that. Got no response to that. And then we decided to take legal action because we thought we had a pretty good argument for why we should get it. And eventually they did agree to give that to us. So we dropped the lawsuit and they gave it to us. And that's how we realized that both sides in this collision were committing crimes when it happened. So it then begged the question, well, was there a full investigation happening here, and did full justice get done, and why were things covered up so fast?
Yeah, since then, since this was published yesterday or leading right up to it being published, have you heard anything else from the investigating agencies, DPS, OHP, the Texas County DA? Have you heard anything from them again about this investigation?
It's only been about 24 hours since the story broke, so no, not yet, and that was a Sunday, of course.
Yeah.
So there may still be processing it, but that said, I can't really go into detail about this, but we have heard from other people who have knowledge. And we're still investigating that. So, we were left with a lot of questions, but it seems like, people who have knowledge of this might be willing to talk. And if anybody out there does have knowledge of this crash and they know something, then please, contact us. Yeah. But it does seem like the investigation into this story may not be over.
Yeah, and we reached out to Texas County DA and DPS as well earlier this morning, but are still waiting to hear back just to see if they had a response since it was published. Real quickly before we go, I just want to ask you what you hope happens next after this article was published yesterday, and the importance of journalism, especially in more rural, smaller communities in our state.
Sure. I mean, I think there was a woman in the car that was hit who survived, and she's been recovering ever since, and then relatives, they have been struggling with this for years. So the hope is that they will get some peace and maybe get some real answers in regard to what happened to their family members, and then as well I would like to see this story trigger a reevaluation of that May rule, and maybe these organizations can, when they do have the ability to release documents, to not come down with that blanket, we're not going to give you anything unless you sue us. Maybe they can, on a more case-by-case basis, try to evaluate individual cases like the tragic death of an 8-year-old girl and say, hey, maybe it is in the public interest that we share these documents. That would be fantastic.
All right, and for anyone who's interested in reading the full investigative piece that is posted online right now, JC, thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks so much.